And welcome to this edition of the Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show. Coach, a big win on Friday night.
Big win for us. It felt good. I know our guys were, fired up about going in there and trying to revenge the loss we had last year, and I think it played up to what I thought it was going to be, a very physical high school football game, and both teams good, hard-hitting teams.
We'll take a look at that game, plus we'll look ahead to this week's first district game. Don't go away. We'll be back right after this.
For more than a century, Union Bank has been serving the people of Fentress County. Now, as we begin a new chapter in our history of service, we want to take this opportunity to reassure you that while our building may be new, we're still the same friendly people you have known for years. Union Bank, the same people, the same goals, and the same commitment to you. Union Bank, your locally owned hometown bank for more than a century, growing to meet your needs. Equal Housing Lender Member FDIC.
And back here on the Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show. And, Coach, this past week your team just another defensive gem.
It was. The defense is playing quite well. We're going to see something this week that we've not seen. We're going to see more of a passing attack. But so far, as the run and being physical, our defense is playing outstanding, Gary.
Coach, your offense moved the ball. Got off to a little bit of a slow start again, but once they got started, they moved it pretty well.
Yeah, we did. We kept putting ourselves behind the eight ball, getting a dumb penalty on first down or not making a block on first down, getting ourselves in, second and 12, second and 15, that type of situations. And, I told them at halftime, I said, guys, we got 7 on the board and we ought to have 21 on the board. I said, Thomas's interception, there was 2 blocking the backs behind the football. There's no just things like that against a really good football team. We're going to come back and bite you and beat you. And we were lucky Friday night that those things didn't. But once we got that at halftime, we got that fixed. Felt like the offense opened up and played a little better.
Coach, you did win the turnover battle, but you did have a couple of turnovers.
We did win the turnover battle, but we had one. We had one late in the game, one right before half that, we were just trying to see if we could get a shot deep. And, of course, they're sitting back there and prevent. So that one's kind of one on the head coach, the way I put it, because I said, I'm probably going to get intercepted right here. But anyway, another one was we're all sophomore fullback in, and we're running the veer, and he's hitting the wrong track, and the quarterback's giving him the ball, and he's not taking it. So got to fix that. But, overall, Ben Cooper, who I'm referring to, Ben's coming on. He's going to play a lot of fullback for us.
Coach, you had a breakout game for Thomas Miller. He really had a big night the other night.
I think that's one of Thomas's best offensive performance. He's got speed. He's got quickness. He's every day, every game, he seems to be seeing the cutback and seeing the hole better. So, I felt real good about him, and I think it was a big game for Cole Cooper too. Cole's running very physical for us, but I think he's starting to see some of those cutback lanes and things like that. So I expect to see that coming from him too. And but overall, Thomas had to me, it was just an offensive breakout game for him to show people what he's capable of doing.
It's good to see also Josiah Headings on both sides of the ball.
Josiah, we're getting him there. We're getting him, it's not easy to not leave the field and play both sides of football. And he's a big, strong kid and got a motor. And, what we've asked him to go as hard as he can go. And when he needs out, let us know. And we can get him out and get him some rest and get him back in. And, I got a little upset with him at one point. He took himself out without letting me know it, and we used the timeout there. But I'm really pleased with how he's coming on, because he's a truck. I mean, he's a guy that he gets those pads down, and he wants to get you 3 or 4 yards. He can get it.
Coach, we mentioned the offense and the defense, but one part of the game that your guys are playing really well is your special teams.
Yeah, so far the special teams have been a strong point. Our kickoff team's doing well, return team, punt team. Now, one thing we want to field more of the punts. We gave them a lot of extra yards off the roll, but it's a tough job being back there by yourself. You want to make sure you get it when you need to and not. So we'll just continue to work on that. I think we've got a guy back there that's very capable, and we just got to get him more confident in what he's doing. But overall, I'm real pleased with what's going on with our kicking game.
Any injuries from the other night?
No, we got sores, bruises, that type thing, just from a high hitting, hard contact football game. But thank the Lord, no injuries, and we've got 2 injuries going on, but they were from Tuesday in practice. We had one young man get a high ankle sprain, another one sprain a knee. So hopefully we'll get both those guys back this week, or if not, early next week.
Coach, how big is this to get off to a 2-0 start, especially I know it's not in district games, but it's a great momentum builder.
Well, it's a tough schedule overall. We know some teams are really playing good football right now. We know Upperman's playing really good football. Grundy's off to a 1-1 start, and really could easily been 2-0. Just had a couple mistakes in that second game. Upperman's, like I said, playing well. Sequatchie's playing well. Smith County, I think they're 1-1. So we've got a tough region, and we've got every game's got to be important to us. And right now offensively we put up 62 points, and defensively we've not give up a point. And that's you can't ask for much better start than that. But we've got to realize that we're just scratched the surface of where we can get to.
Well, Coach mentioned district action and region action. We've got that coming up this week. We'll take a look at the Yellow Jackets of Grundy County right after this.
For more than a century, Union Bank has been serving the people of Fentress County. Now, as we begin a new chapter in our history of service, we want to take this opportunity to reassure you that while our building may be new, we're still the same friendly people you have known for years. Union Bank, the same people, the same goals, and the same commitment to you. Union Bank, your locally owned hometown bank for more than a century, growing to meet your needs. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Back here with Coach Derwin Wright. And Coach, Grundy County, they're not the team they were last year. They got a new coach, a new look.
They do. They have a new coach, a new look. After everything they went through last year, you would think that they would be in a rebuilding year. But looking at them on film, they're big up front, offensive and defensive line. A lot of skilled players, 13, 15. Those two guys look to be like 6'2", 6'3" receivers. Number 2 in the backfield, number 4 the quarterback, and number 5 fullback. A bunch of weapons. Spread you out, 24, good football player for them. They'll spread you out, and then they'll also come in and run it. They got a very balanced attack as far as pass run, I've seen them throw some deep passes and be right on the money. So, we've got our first real test for our secondary as much as anything coming up on Friday night.
Coach, offensively, what you got to do to move it against them?
Well, just do what we're doing. Be consistent. Make sure we're making our blocks. We're chipping when we need to chip. We're communicating. We had some wing back failure to communicate on, especially what we call our blast play. I think Friday night, that game, and looking at it on film, we're going to have that fixed. But just let our offense grow. We've got some of our screen game in. Huge play on the screen game Friday night, and honestly, Josiah just ran through a block that should have been made by one of our guys, but he wasn't understanding his job. We've got that fixed. So, we've got to get our screen game more involved, and we've got to get our short and deep passing game more involved. But as far as our run game, it's getting better every Friday night.
And, Coach, defensively, you talked about some of the players that you got to stop. They get, like you said, they throw a mixed bag at you.
They do. They'll come out and 4 wide, and spread the field and run a single back set out of shotgun, and then they'll get under center in I with a twin set and throw to the tight end a lot. And tight ends, you watch the NFL, any level, tight end's a guy that is not used enough in the passing game, but he's a guy that's hard to cover, and this kid's tall, looks like a good runner, really sells a block and then releases downfield, so he's a guy we've got to keep our eye on.
And it may come down to the special teams, this will really be key this way.
Well, they're always key. Special teams and turnovers, they change the game quicker than anything, and we got to be sound in what we're doing. They run a spread-type punt formation, kind of like what we saw against Coalfield. And, that's just to spread guys out, make it harder for you to get to the football and make it easy for them to get down the field. So we've got to do a good job in holding up those guys are making sure they're kicking it. And, they do a nice return. They do a little cross block in the middle, so we've got to prepare for that.
Coach, seeing the scores last week, this district looks like it's going to be pretty competitive. You got Smith County at 1-1, Sequatchie 1-1, Grundy's 1-1. You got Cannon County sitting at 2-0.
And you got Upperman 2-0, and Upperman they played two quality football teams. Obviously, they're a solid football team, and we had 4 out of the 6 or 7 of us coaching changes. So we know that we've got some really good quality football teams to come, and I think this region opener against Grundy County, I think they're playing some pretty good football.
Coach, how important would it be to get that first win? Because, in this region, you only have to win 2 games to make it to the playoffs.
Well, obviously, we sat back last year, and we let a region game get away from us early. And we thought it was going to come down to a 3-way tie, and with us having an overall record 8-2 and everybody else 7-3, we would win the region. But we lost the region by 1 point, and we lost the region by another team getting that. And we had a tied as far as our win-loss in the region was tied, but the head-to-head, they beat us, which, our fault. Any other scenario, the way it was, there was 3 scenarios. The other 2, we win the region because we had the overall better record, because us and Sequatchie and Smith would have all beat each other, and all of us end up with the same region record. But Upperman was able to beat Sequatchie in that last region game, and we had 8-2 record, and they had a 7-3 record and won the region. So, I hope that's in the back of our kids' minds that we let a chance an early region game. That was a game at one point we were up 21-6 with the football, driving on 12-yard line, fixing to go up 28-6, and the game might be over, and we had a fumble, and they went down 3 plays later and scored and right back in the ball game. And that was Smith County here last year. But, you always say every game's important, take them one game at a time, and I think that's a lesson we learned last year, and we didn't learn it early enough.
Coach, it's your first home game, and your only home game for about another month, so we need a great big crowd out here on Friday night.
Yeah, we're 2-0, and a lot of folks always listen to us on the radio. We'd like to see you in the stands Friday night. I think we're going to have a very competitive football game. I thought Coalfield game would be a hard-hitting game, and I really feel like the things that we have to do Friday night to win this football game is not give up the big play. Like I said, the secondary is going to be tested, and we've got to get pressure on that quarterback. But we want to see a big crowd Friday night, and it's going to be the only game to see us for 4 weeks after that, which is actually a month, because we've got an open week on the 7th, and then we're on the road 3 more weeks in a row, and then we finish at 4 at home.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for joining us. A great win on Friday night, and looking for a big win on this coming Friday night.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it for this edition of the Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show. Of course, be sure to turn out Friday night. It's a home game, first home game in a long time. So you're going to come on out and support the Dragons. It's also a huge region contest, and we expect you to be there. Until next week, for 15104 Sports, I'm Gary Clark. See you at the game.